Hey guys, and welcome to my video on the ultimate guide on how to protect and cleanse your energy from any energetic attacks. This is actually part 2, so if you want to check back and watch part 1, I've gone into loads more detail about who and what you're protecting your energy from. I don't want you to miss any of that important information, so check there first and then come and join us for this second half. So I'm Gabby Zakara, thanks for coming on my channel. Please subscribe for more videos like this. And yeah, let's just begin, so I've got lots to go through today. Quick disclaimer, you don't have to do all these practices, but the more you can do, the stronger your energetic field will become. I just wanted to give you all the tips and techniques that I know so you can have as much knowledge under your belt as possible. How to protect your energy from being attacked. So one of the main things I've noticed is basically getting enough sleep. So I was once up all night on one Christmas Eve making my fam some soaps and stuff, and I just remember like the later it got, the more I could feel these things crawling on me, and it was like as I got more and more tired, it was like my energetic defense was just going weaker and weaker and weaker, and I was getting more and more like energy bugs crawling on me basically and starting to attack me and stuff. So sleep's a big one. Crystals is a massive one. Jet in particular, black jet crystal, they're really good at protecting. And other good protection crystals are shungite, black tourmaline, black obsidian, smoky quartz. A lot of black crystals are really good for protecting. And crystals are perfect tools for all sorts of different things, so you can get little books and search online about what works well and what crystals work best for you and things like that. But what I like to do is get a piece of jet and I put it on my head, and I'll wrap my hair around it into a big bun on top of my head with a piece of jet in there, yeah. When I'm doing my Reiki treatments or just gonna be around people that I think I might pick up bits from and stuff, I'll always put like a jet in my hair, or maybe like tuck it in the rim of my hat, or wear crystal necklaces and rings and stuff like this, and always just make sure that I've got some kind of crystals on that are protecting me, and that I think really helps. And when I did that bun thing, I was wondering whether Buddha, whether he secretly used to put a little crystal in his bun, which is where his bun came from, which is probably like just so far from the truth, but I thought it was a nice little thought anyway. Another way to protect your energy is eating a clean, light diet. So vegan's really good. If you eat any kind of animal products, when the animal dies, obviously in the slaughterhouse, they are in fear and pain and anger and sadness, and the energy that they have when they die is basically stuck in their body then, and you eat that energy. So you eat in anger, you eat in sadness, fear, pain, anxiety, all these different things that then fill your body and your energy with that. And it's crazy really, because we're never taught about this. Like I ate animals my whole life and just never knew any of this, but energy never dies, it's only transferred. So all the energies that are in their bodies, in their soul and their consciousness is then downloaded into your energy and consciousness. And so if you think about it, it's almost like you're self-sabotaging, because you're actually feeding the energies into your body without realising. Raw vegan diet as well. I mean, whole food vegan diet is ideal. Raw vegan diet is like, choo! So raw vegan diet, literally I did that for 4 months, and that is how I can now sense all these energetic snakes, and I can feel attachments on my head and stuff like that. It's really amazing for your spiritual development and just feeling so light, for being so light, for having the best, strongest energy defense mechanism and all this kind of stuff. Just make sure you're full of your nutrients and you're getting everything that you need. It's really easy to do if you have an app called Chronometer. It's basically like you put everything in, it tells you exactly what you need, exactly what you've had. It's amazing, all the vitamins and all sorts. Make sure you're having B12 if you're doing vegan, and make sure you're getting all your nutrients. It's really easy to do once you're just like on top of it and aware, and it will change your life spiritually. No matter what diet you choose, being on top of your nutrients is literally the most important thing you can do to protect your energy, and everything else really comes second. So if you are lacking in certain nutrients and have deficiencies, then they create holes and weak spots in your aura and your energy bodies, and then you're more easily attacked. Number 4 is kind of all-encompassing, but it's keep your vibe high. Everything in the universe is energy and vibration, and depending on what frequency you're vibrating on is what you attract into your life. So when you're trying to protect your energy, it's really important to not be consuming anything that's going to lower your vibrational frequency. And when I talk about consuming, it's not only to do with food, but different programs you're watching, different music you're listening to, the people you're hanging out with. Even words have their own vibration. And if you look at an experiment by Dr. Emoto, he shows how water can be influenced by words and intentions. So he'd have water in different containers, and he'd play different types of music and say different types of positive and negative words, and have different types of emotions and intentions behind what he would say. And he noticed that when he froze the water, the particles would either freeze in a beautiful geometric shape if it was nice words and nice intentions and emotions behind it, and they would freeze in an ugly and distorted shape if there was negative emotions and intentions. So if you think about how our bodies are made up of like 60 to 80% water, then imagine the influence that different types of words, music, energies, emotions, frequencies, programs have to condition your mind, body and soul in different types of ways. Another cool experiment you can try at home is basically getting 2 apples and talking negatively to one and then positively to another. And you'll notice how the apple that had the negative talk actually rots a lot quicker than the one that had the positive talk. And it just goes to show how much energy does condition matter. So no matter what energy you have in your field, it'll condition your body in different types of ways, which is just again why it's so important to make sure your energy is all good and clear and healthy. Shielding and cloaking and asking your guides for protection. So basically asking like your higher self, asking your spirit guides, your angels, whoever you go to, your spirit team, your Reiki masters, God, source, whoever you want to go to, and asking them for protection. And to cloak up, I do this. And this is just something I've learned from a few different people, but you might have your own thing that works for you. But I kind of rub my hands together like that, and that activates your hand chakras, which is the energy points in your hand. I rub them together and then I say, I call upon my higher self, my angels and my spirit guides and God to surround myself, and I put my hands up here so it's almost like the energy from my hands is now going to start like creating a cloak around me, and I imagine a cloak going around me while I'm saying it. So I say, I call upon my higher self, my angels, my spirit guides and God to surround myself in a beautiful protective bubble of bright white love light energy. And you can imagine it to be whatever colour you want it to be. And I say, to make myself invisible to any harm or any danger on all levels of existence through all space and time. And then I like to do it a second time just to be sure, and I say, I surround myself in a beautiful protective bubble of bright white love light energy to make myself invisible and impenetrable to any harm in any kind of way. And I just make sure it like goes all the way around me like a big cocoon. Sometimes I might even want to wrap each of my 7 bodies in its own little cocoon and close it up. And then I'll bless it, it'll do. And then I'll like bless it from all 4 corners. And I'll even ask my spirit wolf, because I've got a spirit wolf and a spirit tiger, and I'll say, my spirit wolf, I ask you to stand on the left, and spirit tiger, I ask you to stand on the right. And I call upon an angel to stand in front and back of me and just make sure that I'm fully protected. Sometimes I like to even like imagine I'm standing in a rose and a rose petal just closes up around me, and then like rose thorns go around me as well as extra protection, whatever you want. Sometimes a black cloak works as well. Black's good for protection, the colour. Whatever you want to know, sometimes you end up just kind of doing different things, and whatever would work with you, whatever guide you use and stuff like that. No drugs. So coffee, chocolate, sugar, refined carbohydrates, alcohol and all other drugs that you might know of open up your aura, and so you have those holes that I was talking about earlier, where the snakes can then find a hole and get in and attack you. So any of these drugs open you up and leave you just open then, and you're basically not protected at all. So let's just take alcohol as an example. It allows loads of like negative demons and stuff to come in and take over your body, and then people end up acting out in angry ways or doing things they would never normally do, and being like, God, that was not me, like, don't know why I acted like that was just so not me. And it's because it's not, it's because you literally had negative beings influencing you and taking advantage whilst you were open and under the influence. So Obviously, on the other side of things, if you've got good energy coming towards you, the drugs leave you open, you're getting all this good energy, it's amazing. So if you are going to open yourself up, then it's really good to be aware of who you're with and where you are. Say, for example, you're outside in nature, there's a lot more beautiful, grounded, earthy, nice, positive energies that will help balance you out if you were to pick those up. If you do want to take these things, the other thing to be aware of, which I mentioned before, is just your nutrition. So a lot of these different substances do leave you nutritionally depleted after taking them. So again, it's just making sure that you are keeping on top of your nutrition, whatever you decide to do. Last thing is who you're sleeping with, and that come here. That's a really big way of how to protect your energy from being attacked, is being aware of who you're sleeping with and being careful with who you're sleeping with. So basically, like when you sleep, sex, the word sex is sacred energetic exchange. And I know that exchange begins with an E, but it's like, don't ruin it for me. So like that's what it is, a sacred energetic exchange, and you basically do just swap energies with that person. So if you're sleeping with someone who's got really negative energy, or they've got loads of attachments, or they've got a lot of stuff going on in their lives, you basically just energetically entangle with each other and then take on each other's baggage. So last bit then is how to get rid of negative energy if you've already been attacked. So good things